This is Greentech Media's 5 Questions, the 2014 Solar Summit edition. I'm Stephen Lacey, Senior Editor with Greentech Media in Phoenix, Arizona. And in this conference video series, we're sitting down with company executives to hear about what's happening in their area of the market. I'm now joined by Joe Brotherton, who's the president of MaxGen. Joe, good to see you.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And as an independent O&M provider, what is the biggest challenge that you face as a company in this market?
I think for us, the biggest challenge we see, given that we are primarily in the utility space, not necessarily distributed generation or residential, we see a number of companies that are trying to get into the space. It's a long-term revenue stream. You know, PPAs have 20 plus years of life, and we see a number of groups entering the market because they're chasing that revenue stream. And for us, it's difficult. We don't build projects, we don't develop projects, we don't deal with financing. So for us, we have a small niche, and you get bigger firms, maybe larger organizations that come in to do it, and the challenge is convincing someone to hand over portfolio to us to take care of for them on their behalf.
So what's the role of O&M in actual construction of projects?
Depends on where we come into the project. So if it's new construction, we have a number of companies, EPCs, that come to us and say, we want to build, move on and build something else. We have a 5-year O&M obligation. We want you to take care of it. So on new construction, we're involved very early in the process. In some cases, specifying technology, definitely have some input in the SCADA systems because we monitor, we dispatch based on alarms. So we add much more value early on in the process, but we have developers that have large portfolios that come to us and say, we have these operating assets, they need to be taken care of. The initial EPC warranty is expired. So in that case, you know, we come in, and our role is not necessarily in construction, it's just the ongoing operation piece of it. Overall, during construction, we provide a new set of eyes, from an operator's point of view versus a construction manager's point of view or an independent engineer point of view. We want to make sure it works so we can keep it working. So
that's the value an independent O&M provider has in a project. What about over the life cycle of the project?
I think that's exactly right. We have a different set of eyes. We didn't build it. We had nothing to do with how it came about. Our view is just, let's make sure it works, let's make sure it's as efficient as possible, and then we offer guarantees on top of it. So long term, the value is you have a group that is only focused on making sure these power plants run and run efficiently, and you know, we build our business around learning about the new technologies, learning about ways to you know, have more output, whether that's washing more, taking care of landscaping more often. That's what we do.
So there's a lot of interest in this space, in the solar sector broadly. How do you define what operations and maintenance is?
You know, the definition will vary depending on who you ask and what level or what role they play in the project. For us, being that we are an independent O&M provider, we define the O of O&M in terms of data analysis, look at performance, manage alarms, look at trends that the project is putting out. So if we can see some degradation, we find ways to decrease the degradation or go fix a problem. Yeah. On the M side, it's maintenance, it's boots on the ground, it's trucks, it's parts, it's tools, and we dispatch those technicians accordingly.
So you defined ways that you're different from other O&M providers. Why is that so important now that people are focused on this space and so many companies are trying to get in?
We're trying to stay ahead of the curve. I think, you know, like I said earlier, a lot of people, I believe, are going to be coming into this space. So if we can establish ourselves as we already take care of the front end, we're efficient, you know, we believe it's easy to come in and buy trucks, buy tools, and have people in the field. But what do they do, and why do they do it? And that's what we're focused on, is being able to see an alarm, and from with production in mind, how do we stop the alarm and fix the problem? We don't want alarms. We'd rather not see them, which is maybe not the thought process that most maintenance organizations have. But for us, we do a lot on the front end to prevent those types of things happening, and which ultimately costs power, costs money.